14.5, graphing ordered pairs, page 504 and 505. So what we did in 14.4, talked about it briefly off camera here, but really got introduced to this whole concept about the equations, how x is our input value, we control what that is. We don't really control what the output is. The output is whatever the answer to the equation is. You can't really control that, but you can control where you start the equation. That's your x value. We practiced how we write things in ordered pair form here. Now we're going to be, what do we do with all these coordinates that we had here? We had all these coordinates all over the place. These are coordinates here. Time to get through and start graphing points here, identifying points on the thing. So we'll go one of two ways. Either you'll be given a letter like you see in this graph here, and the question is, what is the ordered pair that corresponds to the letter? Or you'll be giving an ordered pair and telling the letter that corresponds to that. Your homework is pretty much exactly that. They give you two different graphs. The first 12, you deal with one graph. First 6, name the ordered pair of a letter. Next 6, name the letter that goes with the ordered pair. And then the last part is, once again, name the ordered pair that goes with the letter. Bigger graph this time. And then name the letter that corresponds to the ordered pair. So it's really all we're up to. So first, there are really 6 parts to the graph here. I'm not going to label a bunch of numbers right now.
Should we draw this?
I would. So identifying the different parts of the graph here. There are 6 parts to the graph here. What we have over here, this is our x-axis right here. Okay, the x-axis. This is my left and right, you could say. I will put a few things on here. I'm not going to go too far with that. So generally speaking, what's going on right here in the middle, the bullet here, right here, right there. This is called the origin point right here, the origin. The origin is the middle of everything, and if I gave it coordinates, the origin is always located at point 0, 0. It has no up and down movement, it has no left and right movement. It is smack dab in the middle where the two axes cross each other. This is the x-axis, this is my left and right, and this up and down one here, that is my y-axis. So if I wanted to name points here, well, I'll just continue. I'll do that in a minute here. But on these axes are their own thing here, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4 big wide open boxes here that are called quadrants. There are 4 quadrants available here. And this one over here is quadrant 1. Quadrant 1. For whatever reason, they're generally written with Roman numeral symbols. I don't know why, it just is. This is quadrant 2 over here. Quadrant 3 down here. And quadrant 4 is over here. Probably be easier if they went 1, 2, 3, 4, but they don't. It's not me. This is just how it is. So they go in a counterclockwise direction here. Anything in quadrant 1 for the coordinates here, and you'll see this here, but your x value is going to be a positive value, and your y value is going to also be a positive value. Anything in quadrant 1 will have a positive x value, positive y value. Anything in quadrant 2 will have a negative x value and a positive y value. Down here in quadrant 3, your x value is going to be negative and your y value is also going to be negative. In quadrant 4, your x value is positive your y value is negative. Anything that has a coordinate of 0, like if x is 0 or y is 0, does not lie in a quadrant. Instead, it lies right on the axis itself. So when I'm plotting things, I'll just make up a couple points. 1, 2, negative 3, 1, and 0, 2. Right there. 0, negative 2. All right. So I've listed 3 coordinates here. Coordinate 1, 2, coordinate negative 3, 1, coordinate 0, negative 2. These could be solutions to the equations like we just did in our last lesson here, where we plugged in a bunch of x values and we got a bunch of things. We practiced writing those things as ordered pairs, right? So these could be certainly solutions to different equations here. But now, if I needed to plot them there. So let's start with this one here, 0.12. So where I start is always right here at the origin. And starting with the x value. All right, if it's a positive value, again, you're looking along your x-axis here. Values that are greater than 0 go to the right. Values that are less than 0 are to the left. There's my negative numbers. So if I see x as a positive 1, that would be right here. This is where my x1 value is on the x-axis. The y value is my up and down. And once again, if it's positive, you can see the positive numbers go up, the negative numbers go down. So if I wanted to plot where 0.12 is, I find my x value, it's right here, and then I find my y value 2, which is right here. So my point is where those two, again, I kind of drew some dashed lines there to help you see, but my point would be where the x of 1 and the y of 2 come together, right there is 0.12. See how I did that? So you're just looking for your x value, your left and right, your y values, your up and down. -3, 1. So what that's telling me is my x value is a -3. My y value is a positive 1. So I start here at 0, and I go 3 spots to the left, 1, 2, 3. There's x -3 right over here. Right? Positive 3's over there. -3's over here. And then I have a y value of 1, which is up 1, right about there. Right there. There's -3, 1. And you can see here that this is in quadrant 1. My x value is positive, my y value is positive. Well, anything in quadrant 1 will always have that characteristic. Over here, -3, 1, well, my x value is negative, my y value is positive, which is a characteristic of anything in quadrant 2. 0.0, -2. So this time, I have a value of 0 for my x, which means there's no left or right movement at all. And my y value is -2, which is right here, so that would land right there. All right, that's 0.0, -2, right here. See it there? Now, this one, if I said to you, well, where does this point lie? Well, notice how it's not in quadrant 3 or quadrant 4. There are 6 different spots a point could land on the graph. Could be in quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4, or a point could be right on the x-axis or right on the y-axis. So if I said, what's the location of this point, you would say it's on the y-axis. It's not in quadrant 3 and it's not in quadrant 4 either. 0, remember, is neither positive nor negative, right? I can't look at the criteria for each of these quadrants here. 0 is neither positive or negative. So all points are going to land in one of 6 different spots. Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4, sitting on the x-axis or sitting on the y-axis. Okay? Everything will be somewhere. on one of those 6 spots. The only thing that might be a little weird is the origin point, which I guess lands on both the x and the y axis, but other than that, everything else has one location and one location only of where it could be located there. So this is about the whole lesson right here. I mean, if you can understand, and again, we're going to tie this all together in our next lesson where we're going to start graphing stuff, or we're going to have equations. We'll need to plot the points, and then we'll need to basically connect the line connecting the points. That's graphing an equation. Boys. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow in 14.8 here. So today it's just about learning how this works, getting used to plotting points on the graph, and then naming coordinates of various letters. So let's look at the book here. And again, would I recreate this whole thing in your notes? Probably not. I probably wouldn't here. Here's what I'll do. Very briefly, I'm going to recreate another one for us for our notes, and then we're just going to kind of talk through what's going on here. So let's create a graph of your own. I'm going to go 5 in every direction. Next year, you'll have to create your own graphs some of the time. Feel free to use if you grabbed one of these sheets of paper, that's fine. I don't care. Okay. I'm going to put some different points out here. Maybe it would have just been easier to use this thing in the first place here, but point there, A, put a point there, B, put a point here, C, put a point here, D, and put a point up here. E. Okay. So now I'm going to list a couple coordinates here.
How come all the things on your graph start with 2?
Just to save some writing, I mean, you should be able to see that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. When you're building your own graphs, you don't necessarily have to make it in increments of 1. There's graphs here where I could go 0, 50, 100, 150, 200. I mean, that's fine. You can use any increment you want between the values. I don't put every single number because you should be able to interpret that that's a -1, a -3. It just adds more clutter to the graph. If I put more numbers in there, that makes sense. It's just a little easier to read without so many numbers all over the place. So that's why I did it that way. I think most people can understand that's a 5 right there without me rating it. That's a good question. Anyway, so 0.40, A, B, C, D, or E. Which of those 5 letters lands at coordinate 40? Dom.
C.
Point C is correct. Has an x value of 4. 4 spots to the right I move. It has a y value of 0. That means there's no up or down at all. So I go 4 spots to the right. Up nothing. That is point C right there. On the x-axis is where it sits. What letter corresponds with coordinate -4, 4? Brooke.
I can't see because of the glare.
Brooke can't see because of the glare.
I can see it.
I can't see it.
I can see it. I can see it.
Is that better?
Yeah,
It's better, but
I like it better with lights on.
yeah, I like it better with the lights on.
Yeah.
It's better.
I can read it with the lights on.
Well, you don't have the glare.
Yeah, I know. 4, 4.
-4, 4. D.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my x negative 4 right here. That's my x negative 4. And then I got a positive 4. That's my y value. That means I need to go up 4. And right there. Right. That is where point E is. What is the coordinates of point D? Well, A, B, and D. A, B, and D. So on your own, write out the coordinates where those points are located. A, B, and D.
The X first and then the Y?
Yes. Your x coordinate first, your y coordinate second. Just like we practiced in 14.4 with how we write them. I'll zoom in on it. Maybe it'll make it a little easier to see.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's way better.
Way
I
better.
can see it. I can see that.
Use this. So A, B, and D. What is the coordinates? If I asked you where they're located, where are they located? A, B, and D.
Where's B? Oh, there it is.
Make sure to use your brackets separated by a comma. Yep, A is over here, B is over here, D is over there.
Oh, B said D.
Provide me the coordinates of each of those points.
They love the B said D. I could die.
Yeah, you could die. You could all die. Yeah, you could die because of eating. Yeah, you could die. You could die if you drink too much.
Huh?
Yeah, you could die if you drink too much. It's called drowning. No, but you can actually die if you drink too much.
Yeah, it's called drowning.
No,
All right,
without
all
going
good?
down.
Yeah. All right, A. What's the coordinate? Evangeline.
4 and 4,
Yeah.
positive 4.
It's more positive 3, but I guess you're in the right realm. 4, 4 would be up here somewhere, but C's sitting on 4. A looks to the left of it. So it's meant to be
Where the
3,
point
3.
is, not where the number is.
B. Jackson.
B is -1, -2.
Right,
Oh, that's why I got to
right there. -1, right there. -2, right there. -1x, -2y. D. Damien.
negative, no, 0 and -3. Nope.
0, -3 would be right here.
Oh, I did it wrong.
Yep.
It would be. Oh my god! I said. I don't know.
What's my x value?
5, -5.
-5.
-5.
Right here.
Get your glasses, dude. See, I know. I have it on my paper. Oh, alright.
1, 2.
Oh. I don't know what I did.
My x value?
Is -3.
Right, because I moved 3 spots to the left. 1, 2, and I said it. So there's my x value. What about my y value? My up and down?
0.
0. There's no up or down at all. It's sitting right on the x-axis. There's no up or down movement at all. On this one here. Okay. All right. So why don't we just walk through? I don't think we need to write all this out here. I'm just going to kind of run around and let's just go through 1 through 15 and answer the questions. You got your book too. You should look at your own book, page 505.
Is it fine if I like wrote the whole graph out?
Yeah, that's fine. this is enough to constitute notes. I mean, if you really want to write all this out, well, that will take a little time, but that's not saying you don't have, can't.
So we do 1 through 50.
Right, I'm just gonna pull stick. So here we go. Number 1, point D. What is the coordinate? Savannah?
Where are we? We're just doing all of them.
505, 1 through 15. Point D.
Oh, thank you. Positive 3. Brother. Positive 4. I just gotta go fast.
There it is there. What's my X value?
2.
My left and right movement. I moved 1, 2, 3, 4 spots to the right. So my X value is 4. What's my Y value? That's my X value, positive 4. What's my Y value? Y value is my up and down movement. How far up is it off the x-axis? Right. So I move 4 spots to the right, 4, and then I move 1, 2, 3 up. So therefore, for number 1, nope, the other way around. Your x always is first. 4, 3. So for number 1, D, it is at 0.43. Number 2, the I. Sierra.
-5, -1.
Right. I is at -5, -1. Number 3, the B. Sig.
We got -1 and 3.
-1, 3. Or positive 3. Good. All right, back in the cup we go. Number 4, the G. Dom.
G, -6, +1.
-6, positive 1. I agree. Number 5, the M. Sierra.
-4,
-4. Correct. Number 6, J. Evangeline.
+1 and -1.
+1, -1. You got it. Number 7, the H. Damian.
-6 and 0.
-6, 0. You got it.
I can't see.
Number 8, the L. Brooke.
L, -2, -3.
-2, -3. Correct. Number 9, the E. Sig.
-2 then
-2,
+2.
+2. Pretty good. All right. So the other way they'll go with you here is, again, half the lesson. You'll see the thing. They'll say a letter. You say the coordinate. And now 10 through 15 the other way. I will give you a coordinate. You just tell me the letter that matches up with that spot. Easy enough, right? So number 10, what letter lies at the coordinate -4, +3? Jackson.
K.
Letter K, correct.
Wait, what?
Oh, found it.
Number 11, +1, +2. Savannah.
Number 11.
Yep. +1, +2.
Oh, -4. A.
Not A.
Oh, J.
J is at 1, -1.
So F.
F, right. F is 1 spot over, and then Y 2 spots up. There it is right there. 1, 2. So F it shall be. Good. All right, 4 more, and then we're done. 1 more round here for everybody. Number 12, What lies at 3, -5? Brooke,
What number?
12.
12 is P.
P, right. 13, 0, -3. Damien,
That would, wait, what number?
13.
13? Oh, R.
R, correct. 14, 4, 0. Sierra. Q, correct. And 15, -5, -6. Jackson. -5, -6. V, you got it.
Wait, can you keep that up?
I was cooking a
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. Tom?
I can.
Same thing.
Okay, are we done?
Might do like one of the 16
They won't ask if you want there. I mean, if I said name the points located in quadrant 1, well, I would look for quadrant 1. I would say A, T, D, and F.
That's cool.
There's 4 points in quadrant 1. A, T, D, and F. Do you agree with that? C and Q are not in quadrant 1. They're on an axis. So there's only 4 points in quadrant 1. A, T, D, and F. Those are the 4 points. What are the points in quadrant 2? Sig. Quadrant 2. Well, look in your book.
Oh.
Or you can look up there. Or whatever you got. Shut your book a little early.
I thought we were done. Well, we're not.
Well, there's a question about quadrants and stuff.
Oh my god.
Sig is working on it there. Quadrant 2. Dom.
Quadrant 2, name the points in it.
Yep.
G, K, E, B. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. 4 of them. G, K, E, and B. C, O, and H are on different axes. Sig, which points lie on the x-axis?
The x-axis.
Right, x-axis.
Wait. No, just the points.
The letters.
Oh.
Across, on the line.
Oh, Q.
Q
And H.
and
Zero.
And
That's not
that's
zero.
not zero.
What?
O.
Origin. Oh.
H, O, Q. H, O, Q. Right.
Okay.
We good with that?
Yeah.
Next year, you'll have to name quadrants and identify all that there. They don't ask anything in the homework to do that, and I will not ask you anything on the quiz about naming quadrants or axes, so that's why I'm not too worried about it, but next year, you'll be asked that type of stuff here.
14-6.
14.8 is our next lesson.
Oh, good.
Right.
14-6, look at 14-6.
All right, Brooke, bring it home.
Please like and subscribe. My speaker's not working.
Very good, Brooke.